We are at the 2013 PGA show, and we're at the UST booth, and you guys have an exciting new product, and it's right behind you.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell our readers and listeners a little bit about it?
It's called Recoil. It's a recoil iron shaft. A couple years ago, we asked ourselves the question, why are guys on tour playing graphite in their drivers, fairways, and hybrids, and not in their irons? So we set out for a study and looked at steel shafts and irons and tried to figure out exactly what it is they had that our graphite shafts didn't. And what we found was the wall thickness of a steel shaft is much thinner. And in that, because of the thinness, it actually ovals during the swing. So when the shaft is being bent during the process of the swing, it actually ovals. And that ovaling process, what we call recoil, is actually a spring effect. So there's actually a spring effect within the shaft that's created when the walls are designed properly. Old graphite shafts have never really had that design because the walls have been too thick to match the weight of the steel. We finally figured out the formula between using materials and innovative designs to get a shaft in graphite to actually act like steel.
So the misnomer of we've been trying to escape forever in the golf industry of graphite is for older gentlemen, old men, things like that, is completely false. We see it out on tour. There are guys who play graphite shafts. So you guys have come up with something that is going to more mimic steel, but with graphite you can manipulate ball flight a little easier.
You actually can design a much better shaft with graphite because you're using individual high-tech fiber, carbon fiber in your layout. So steel it's an old process. It's been used for 100 years. They draw it out. They put steps in it to put your flex points and whatnot. And graphite is much more precise in that process. So we get actually a better transfer of energy through graphite than steel does. So when you bend a steel shaft and you bend a graphite recoil shaft, you actually get 67% more energy transfer through the graphite shaft in recoil than you do in steel. So you're going to get a lot more ball speed at the bottom.
And of course, easier on the joints, easier on the body and everything else. When will people be able to find these in stores?
Right. Well, in stores, we're not going to be in stores. These are going to be available at our Tour Specs dealers.
Okay.
They're all over the country. Just come to our website, ustmamiya.com, to check our Tour Specs button, and you can get in there and find Tour Specs dealers in your locale.
That is perfect. I'm signaling my marketing guy here because we'll be doing a review of these shortly. For THP TV, I'm Josh Babbitt.